Some narcissists don't act narcissistic all of the time. Some don't even act narcissistic for weeks or months. Sometimes a lot of time can pass for a narcissist to exhibit some narcissistic traits and behaviors. Some narcissists can switch between being narcissistic and normal, in quotation marks, throughout the day, depending on who they're with and what they are doing. Narcissists have the ability to switch behaviors on and off because some of them they are consciously aware of, and then again, some of them they are not. There are a school of narcissists that are aware of what they are doing and every little nuance in between. So when they are sick, they are the poor victim. And who is going to turn their back on somebody who is sick or somebody who is a victim? So a narcissist is naturally going to take advantage of situations like this, not just being sick, but any kind of ailment, something happening, a tragedy that happened in the family, a death, whatever it may be. They also know that they make people allowances because they are ill, and it must be the stress that they're going through or something more comfortable than unleashing their narcissistic ways on people, knowing they're unlikely to be judged as a narcissist, as many people don't even know what a narcissist is. Sometimes we'll see narcissists act more narcissistic when they are around people that they are friends with or their family members, their nearest and dearest, people that they feel they don't need to impress or people that they don't need to seduce. So narcissists save their best behavior for those that they want to impress, aka those who don't know the narcissist at all. And you may notice a shift in their behavior if a friend or a colleague or somebody that they're an acquaintance with shows up, or even more so when a stranger shows up. They suddenly totally switch personalities and go into nice mode. There are a couple of scenarios that I can think of. A narcissist might persuade you to move in with them very, very early on in the relationship. They might talk about marriage and kids really, really early on into the relationship, sometimes days or even weeks into just meeting somebody. And they can even convince you to move to, I've heard of people moving to other countries because of a narcissist, only to be dumped whenever they got to said country, left alone in a country where sometimes they didn't even speak the native language. So once they have you locked in, they unleash the narcissistic behavior to the full throttle. It is 100% unleashed. As soon as they know that they have you 100% locked down, knowing that you are less likely to leave them, and there is, they can negate the negative consequences to that, and they're able to kind of balance this behavior out with whether or not, how close you are to leaving them. Then the closer you are to leaving naturally, they're going to bring the golden period back. Narcissists often act more narcissistic when they are around people that they deem to be weaker. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they are weak people at all. It could be someone who's not as mentally strong, like their significant other who they have been systematically breaking down from the day that they met them. Someone younger, someone beneath them at work, someone the narcissist thinks is likely that they can abuse and get away with it in a short or even long time period, because they don't care. Supply is supply, and they'll do whatever it takes to get supply. But they do usually, the lower to mid-range narcissist wants to conserve energy, and this is an innate thing within that narcissist. This can be conscious and unconscious. Narcissists love attention, as we all know, and lots of attention. So when they are low on attention or narcissistic supply or narcissistic fuel, which I prefer to say, they have to go out and get more regardless of what it takes. But they're usually going to take the easy route to get to that attention. Like a spoiled child, if they can't get positive attention, they're going to settle for negative attention, just like a 3-year-old. And to a narcissist, sometimes it's even better than positive attention, and it's better than nothing regardless of the situation. So they may deliberately pick an argument with you, wind you up, get you to act out in a certain way so that they can shift the blame over to you, just to get your attention, and just so that you're spoon feeding them premium narcissistic fuel. When you're reacting and arguing, you are playing into the narcissist's hands, and now they have your absolute undivided attention, 100%. You can't focus on anything else in your life, which is not a good thing. And this is how people end up losing their jobs, even losing their children, because of situations like this with a narcissist. And they are happy about this stuff. They don't care what the consequences are for you, and even sometimes for themselves. They don't think ahead in many situations. Now, that is probably a lower to a mid-range narcissist, yes. Despite the abuse reactive abuse that you may hurl their way, they do not care. And remember that reactive abuse is not your fault. Like I said, narcissists often act more narcissistic when they are under the influence, if they are drinking or on drugs. But with a narcissist, this kind of situation has a bit of a twist to it. Narcissists are aware to some extent that neurotypical people act more narcissistic when under the influence, and that is scientifically proven. So they are more comfortable dropping their mask or dropping the nice act. After all, they're thinking it is normal for people to act this way when they are inebriated, or when they've had something to drink, or they are under the influence of drugs. So one reason that many narcissists turn to drink and drugs is because it gives them an even bigger excuse for their narcissistic behavior. And some of them are clever enough to realize that most people will make allowances for the intoxicated, believe it or not. And if you think about it, it does make sense. And it must have been the alcohol talking. We hear that all of the time. And so the narcissist can hide behind that without being judged too harshly. A narcissist can turn their behavior on and off, seemingly at the flip of a switch. Narcissists are more likely to act out in a narcissistic fashion when there are undesirable consequences for them. So narcissists know right from wrong. Don't let them make you believe that they don't, because they are so preoccupied with their own needs. They are not seeing the needs of others, and sadly, even the needs of their own children. If you must have a narcissist in your life, you have to let them know that there are consequences if they act in a narcissistic fashion towards you, because you do not regulate these people's behavior, because they won't, whatever their excuse is, it is not your job to do that. And conflict will never work. This gains that attention that is good for the narcissist, and it is better for you to withdraw your attention when they act narcissistic. Calmly remove yourself from the room if there is an argument going on, and if necessary, explain to them in a calm and rational way. And I know that this probably will never ever work, and usually never does, but we all try as empaths, and I understand that. They will probably, if you do sit them down and try to explain this to them, they are going to draw you into an argument. Stand up after you've said what you need to say and walk away. Do not participate in the argument. And even though they're going to throw those low blows at you to get that attention back from you, This is a negative consequence of being with a narcissist, and there are many, many consequences. So stick to your guns and remove yourself from any situation that doesn't require your attention and that is draining your energy. You must follow through with this. And if it's done properly, it's basically the gray rock method. Observe and don't absorb. As you're preparing to leave this narcissist, because I do not condone staying in a relationship with a narcissist, those are some of the things that you can do. When a narcissist learns that they get less of what they need, they are going to act more narcissistic with you. So this reins in their behavior, and perhaps surprisingly, they seem happier in the long run, and you will be happier too. Trust me. Go no contact after that. And like I said, I definitely do not condone staying in a relationship with a narcissist at all.